Let me turn to you, Senator Kiffmeyer, and let's talk a little bit about, you indicated you served on the Capital Investment Committee, so let's talk a little bit about where you think bonding is going in this session. I think viewers should know, I think they already know, but we'll remind them that this is typically a bonding year, and thus this is a priority for the legislature. Talk a little bit about the bonding bill.
Great to do it. What a fun committee to serve on. We get to go all throughout the state of Minnesota and see wonderful projects and a lot of ideas and local things going on. But big picture, the House has talked about a $600 million bonding bill. Governor Dayton has put forward a 1.4. We don't yet know what the Senate leadership might come out with. So we know that in negotiating between the House and the Senate, we have a little bit of a range right now, what that might all include. There are many issues that are important. I think roads and bridges are one of the biggest things you hear from Minnesotans. They want our transportation, and within the bonding bill, we can have roads and bridges. The other thing that we hear a lot about is water. Those are a lot of issues, although there too it's being driven by federal rules that are not necessarily that we have to go by those federal rules. They're driving a standard, and also concern we have is they're not complete enough. They're only focusing on the phosphorus, but there's also nitrogen and mercury. And if we're going to do this, let's do it right so we don't have these locals putting in some equipment and then later another federal rule comes through and messes up. So it's important to do it right, not just to get it done. And so we have that big picture thing. Now, the stage right now is we have not yet in my committee passed out a bonding bill from the Senate. The House, I believe, has not yet also delineated all of their projects as well. So what usually happens is in this last 4 weeks or so, every week the tempo increases. It gets more intense and the hours get a lot longer. And I always find that the best conversations are at the door with your jacket on as you're getting ready to go, and then we are. And so it always seems like we have to have our back up to the wall. And people say, why does it have to be that way? It just is that way, and it's a human nature thing, and I don't know that we're going to change it this legislative session either. So hang tight, and we as legislators are working in your best interests to work those things out and come together in the end.
It was really nice, Barry, to see that capital investment group come out, and I had two specific bonding proposals. One was Hanson Boulevard, which those of us that live, by a railroad track, there's 1 million gallons of crude oil that, of course, goes through our backyard. And Hanson Boulevard, where that was, to see, just how important it is for the safety side of the thing. I mean, that was both a public safety piece, and I know that there was a child who was killed, just last year in that area, and to see the capital investment folks come out and take a look at it and get a hands, and you went up in the bucket and looked down and
Yes.
saw what it looked like, and I think everybody came away going, yeah, we have to do something. I mean, they really have to do something. And then for them to see, to come to Champlin and look at the Mill Pond, which had a regional fishing piece at one time, but it really was a piece of water that flows into the Mississippi River. And for the first time 2 years ago, we replaced a dam that was part of a bonding project, and the dam that was replaced the water was regulated by 10 2x12 boards at one time. So folks got to see just how water was being protected and a floodplain was being protected from the Mississippi by 2 by it's amazing. 10 2x12s. They would actually move them out. It was built in the 30s, and to get that first dam done, and now to look at the Mill Pond, to have you guys come out and actually see what's happening, on the ground level, I think was a good thing to see, especially from an elected official's perspective.
So, Senator, just to share among the four of us, do you have any insight into how much the leadership in the Senate is going to put on the table?
We won't. Nobody's listening.
Yeah,
right?
we won't tell anybody.
Thank you.
I think, and Mary, Senator Kiffmeyer, correct me if I'm wrong, there was like almost $4 billion in requests, I think, through your committee, right? And I know you have the governor sitting at 1.4. I thought at one time our leadership was saying we were pretty close to where the governor was at, and then when the House came in at $600 million, the conversation was saying, well, we need to come up a little bit north of $600 million. So I'm going to put a quarter bet on this. It'll be more than $600 million, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of closer to the billion side on things. I don't know if I was
I think you're probably not off that far. I think that we kind of get this game a little bit too, that we need to start at a certain point. But I like the tone of what we all wanted to do this year, and I think again. piggybacking off of what Senator Kiffmeyer said, this is a year that we need to look at infrastructure and taking care of what we already have. Growing and building new buildings and other new things are something that we should really be careful of, even though I do have a very important bike trail I really want to make sure happens.
I know what
I'm hoping Chair
Interstate 94.
Torkelson, yeah, we'll get all that too. Yeah. But anyway, I think it's really
Where's
important.
Newman when you need him?
But again, last year, we were able to, out in my district too, really focus on the urgent need of safety and the issue of avian flu last year. So we're actually right now building a new, brand new state-of-the-art avian flu lab out in Wilmer. And again, we had some railroad safety stuff coming out too. So there's a lot of important stuff happening, but this bonding year is important, and there's going to be a lot more discussions coming very, very soon.
Good.
Representative Norton, your thoughts, bonding bill?
Well, I agree with a lot of what I've heard. I just think we have to remember, this is one of those that takes the supermajority. It takes the two-thirds vote. And so it's always interesting to see what happens at the end because, as Senator Kiffmeyer said, we have to get those votes. And so things, little special projects that we heard all of us, we all have our own little special projects. They're all over the state.
Right.
And so that final bill will need to have the right amount of votes in both the House and the Senate. I guess the only thing I would add to this is we will have failed if we do not produce a good bonding bill this year. This is the bonding year. This is really a policy and a bonding year. We have a little bit of money to spend with the surplus, but we should be focusing on that really strong bonding bill. So I'm hoping it'll be closer to the 1B, and that it'll not only have roads and bridges, but we'll get these real important infrastructure needs taken care of across the state.
I thought it might be important, Barry, too, just because of the viewers out there, that in the Republican-controlled House, when you talk about that supermajority, they have to have some votes from the Democrats in order to pass their bonding bill.
They do.
Right.
And in the Democrat-controlled Senate, they also need some votes from the Republican senators. So it's probably one of those great examples of where enforced bipartisanship for a mutual thing. The other thing is we don't generally earmark, though. We would like to sometimes, but we really try and have a process that we go through. And like Corridors of Commerce is a big, important program that targets interregional corridors, which are very important. So we usually fill the pot, I might call it that, fill that. And then out of that, there's a ranking and a scoring of projects, need-based and ready to go and other things. So I thought for the viewers that might be helpful in that little context.
And she's right on that whole piece about the bipartisanship side. I mean, look, when we did the Oliver Kelly Farm, it was joint bipartisanship that was out there celebrating what our schools, all of our elementary schools around the state get to participate in.
I actually carried the bill, and I asked you to take chief authorship for me, and I would be a co-author because I knew it would be helpful in that regard. So Representative Zerwas, a Republican in my district, and it's hard to give up a pet project that you have that you know it's important. But I felt it was a top priority of the Minnesota Historical Society, and so then we worked together and switched authorship to help.
And that was it was a prime example of how when you put something aside, you can get things done that are good for the whole state.
And that happens more than people realize. We actually get along pretty well because there's a lot of big jobs we have to do, and we can't do it without some of that support.
But I would say, one of the things this is great, and this does happen, but too often we have to switch authors, and that shouldn't happen. Because we should be able to accept a bill from in the House party, from a Democrat, and in the Senate from another. If it's a good bill, it's a good bill, and we shouldn't have to worry about switching authors. We do, because sometimes we know it helps, but we shouldn't have to do that.
I live in the life of reality.
I live in a dream world.
That was a long conversation. I mean, there was strategy behind that.
There
well, there you go.
There was good strategy behind that.
Deals are being made right here, actually.